Greetings to all of humanity. It's really my joy and my pleasure. It's my honor to be out here well connected with nature and bringing to you this message of emancipation, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I want to speak to you today concerning how religion is the number one cause of poverty all around the world. But more so in the third world countries, or the countries that they refer to as third world countries, because the thinking or the mentality of the people, or most of the people in those countries, is actually a mentality whereby they feel like they are third class instead of feeling as if they are first class. Okay? But there's one common thread that I see that runs in any community or any society where there is a lot of poverty. And that is basically whereby most of the people, they have a religious and superstitious mentality. And in most cases, they are much up in secular Christianity. As a matter of fact, where I grew up here, in the school program as a little child, you have been fed religion to believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, as a man outside of yourself, as a man 2,000 years ago. And you've been taught to believe that God is a man in the sky also, while you've been given an education. And this education that you've been given, they are making you feel that when you get this education, you're going to become successful in life. Yet, the education never teaches you how to think. It only teaches you what to think and program you to look for employment. It never teaches you that greatness is in you and that you can create your reality consciously. So my brothers and my sisters, when you look at the influence that religion has on all of these poor communities or societies, we realize that it all goes back to the people thinking, or to their mind, the kind of mindset they have. And when you realize that it is your own thoughts that is creating your reality and creating your personality, then you would realize really and truly that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And you would realize that every religion that points you to look outside of yourself and believe in a God as Savior outside of yourself, they are robbing you of discovering the creative power that is in you. Because God in man is actually man's imagination. And everything that is around us that we depend upon for survival, it all was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. It had nothing to do with a God or Savior or Redeemer outside of yourself. And religion blocks you from knowing that the Creator in you is your imagination. Because even the school system have you to believe in academic education over your imagination. But the book was first imagined, the pen was first imagined, the pencil was first imagined, the blackboard was first imagined, the building that they refer to as school, that was first imagined. So my brother and my sisters, we all have been sabotaged of our greatness through religion. And that is what is keeping people feeling limited. Because religion programs you to have a limited mindset. Because you do not realize that you are limitless. Because in religion, they try to make you believe that spirituality is something evil. And that spirituality is something that have to do with the devil. And they make you believe that the devil is an entity outside of yourself. Because you do not understand how the mind works. And you do not understand out of your tongue or out of your mouth is the power of life and death. So, when you read that I am God and there is no other in Deuteronomy 32:39, say I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Then in Isaiah it says the same thing again. In Isaiah chapter 45, 5-7. Say I'm God and there is no other. I create the darkness and I create the light. I create good and I create evil. So my brother and my sisters, until you realize that true salvation is self-realization, you don't realize that it's actually religion that is keeping people in poverty, and that you must break yourself out of that kind of mental bondage, because that is blocking up all your wells of blessings. When you read about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob and all of them, and then you read whereby the wells, they were blocked and they couldn't harvest the field like they used to harvest the field and take care of the flocks like they could have taken care of the flocks. And then you read that another generation come forth and start to redig the wells again and start to unblock the wells again, and the flocks start flourishing even more and the crops start producing even more. It's all about you and your mindset. It's all a great psychological jammer. So if you do not understand how to look within yourself and how to believe in yourself, if you do not understand that God in man is man's imagination, then you'll be trapped in religion. That is why you see many people, they change one denomination to another denomination to another denomination to another denomination. And that kind of ignorance can have you go to a polling station and mark an X on behalf of a certain politician or whatever. And then the preachers are there to impress your subconscious mind to make sure you exercise that right to go and vote. And then when the politicians do something, the preachers come back and try to tell you that in the last days, these things will happen. And these things that they're claiming that will happen to them as Christians, many of the things that they're saying that are going to happen to them, going to be done to them through politicians putting certain laws in place to persecute them and to do them this and to do them that before the coming of the Lord. So when people see things are happening like what is happening right now with the pandemic, they're going to say these are the last days we're living in and scriptures have been fulfilled and so on. And they're going to continue to waddle in that kind of mindset and that kind of thinking and fail to realize that everything is falling right around them, and they don't realize, and they're falling more deeper in poverty because they do not understand what is going on, and there's no mental expansion, and there's no practicing of positive self-image psychology in their life. Everything is about being destructive, and everything is about God, wrath coming on people. It's always around that, and fail to realize how the mind works. And they are the ones who are going to have generation after generation waddling in poverty and mediocrity and limitation, because when opportunities was right before them, they missed all of the opportunities because of their mindset, the way that they are thinking. So my brother and my sisters, you look around, you look in Africa, you look in the Caribbean, you look in America, even though they refer to America as the land of opportunities, and yes, there are many opportunities in those kind of countries and so on, right? Yet there's still many poverty because there's certain systems set up in place. And as I always say, in these parts, like in the Caribbean, there are many people who feel like there's scarcity in their life and they do not have enough to eat. and many of them wish they can eat more, but yet they can actually have 3 meals a day. And they believe if they leave and they go to a place like America, England, Canada, then they will be able to eat as much as they can, because that's where their mindset is, and fail to realize that many people on that side, where they can have so much to eat, many of these things that they have to eat is actually junk. And it's making them fat and making them obese and even killing them in a way that is really, really, really destructive to any people, because obesity is more damaging and more deadly than the COVID-19 or the pandemic that they're talking about. Obesity is a serious disease, because even here in my country, I never used to see so much of obesity. Now you're seeing so much of obesity. And all of these things, I always have to go right back to people mentality. Many people sometimes they turn to food as a place of comfort, because they do not know where to look. And that is why many people, many times, will run to religion. And that is why sometimes churches are flocked with so many people looking for hope. And as long as that environment can provide some sort of hope and comfort to make them feel good, a temporal feel good, not a true feel good, not a real feel good, not a true inner feel good, but one that you're looking for a crutch from everyone else to uphold you in that environment where you could sing and dance and clap, and a man speak things that you would love to hear, what you really love to hear. You have itching ears. And because of that, you'll make sure you provide by giving to that person. And most of the time, such a person would be one who is giving you promises that you would be just like them. Like for example, let me, as I'm coming close to a close here, I was looking at a documentary of a pastor in South Africa, and he's living so lavishly, and so much of the people are living in some ghettos. But the point is, I want to come to this, is that he have reached to the point that he've convinced them that the women, that they all can come to church and bring her underwear, and you're going to prefer that underwear. As a matter of fact, there's a woman who says something happened to her vagina, and he put her to lie down on her back and take his foot and stand up right in her vagina, put his foot right in her vagina. And then the people are saying that he's praying for them and he's healing them and he's a prophet. But if you look at the documentary, the man is saying he's enjoying his success and that he's actually giving the people what they want. And I could agree that that's what the people want, because why? He's a people person, he hug anybody, he don't scorn anybody. But people fail to see that that same power is in all of them. So I look at it and say, okay, he's giving us service and he's getting back his reward, because there's so many people who are hopeless. And it's because of why it's their mindset, and they do not realize it's their mindset. And so they get even more caught up in religion. So my brothers and my sisters, religion has been put in place to distract you from discovering your higher self, your true self. And I'm encouraging you to look away from religion and look to self-realization. That's why I always say to you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. So with that, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much, and I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying makes sense to you, really helping you in any way, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, I'd encourage you to follow me on Instagram, and also if you are a person who would like to support this work in any way, we have a Patreon. You can check out our Patreon. The link is right down below. You can check it out. And also, if you like to support by way of PayPal, you can support by way of PayPal. I want to say thank you very much. Peace. Love you all. I'm out.